Hello. Welcome to the Business Reset Workshop. I'm so excited for you guys. You are taking that big step forward in your business and saying, I'm doing this. I am making this my dream into a reality, and I'm going to make this my best year yet, which is awesome. So, what we're doing is we're going to get started in the Business Reset Workshop. You have an email that has this for your PDF. You can also access it in the Facebook group. And we're going to go ahead and we're going to dive in on how to get everything taken care of. So this PDF you can download. You will be able to edit it if you want. If you like to do that, you can work your workbook in your software, whatever it is. So if you have an iPad, a tablet you want to work on, or you can go ahead and print it out and write it all out. I prefer the magic of writing pen to paper. I think it just brings kind of things into reality a little bit more, helps you see things. You can change colors, make it fun. So that's what I prefer to do, but I will be showing it to you guys as a PDF so that you can see in there, and I'll even show you how you can go in there and edit it so that you can go ahead and put in everything that you're working on for this. So today we are doing R, which is review. Today is going to be a very objective day. I don't want you to feel overwhelmed by anything, or like you need to be judged, or like you didn't do good enough, or you did great, or anything like that. I mean, of course, if you did great, like feel grateful for it. But if you feel like, oh, I wanted to make more money, or oh, I didn't have enough clients, or anything like that, don't let those feelings get to you, because this is about just reviewing where we are so that we can see where were we last year, and then as we jump into our plan on that last day, figuring out our timeline, what we're working towards, we have actual real hard facts about what it is. Because it's always great to dream, but if you don't know what you're looking at or how to make it a reality, and the best way to do that is to look at what we've done in the past and what worked in previous years, and then of course what didn't. So, and this will let you do that, is to see what worked and what didn't. So for this, you're going to be reviewing how much money you brought in, what kind of marketing you completed, and how many clients you served. So what you can do to make this easier is, if you used any social media, make sure that you log into those platforms so that you can pull the data from those insights. So if you used Facebook and Instagram, go ahead and pull up your Meta platform, and you can pull in, and I'll show you guys how to do that as well. You can pull in what worked and what didn't, how many posts you did, that kind of stuff. If you did email, any email marketing campaigns, any hard paper copy campaigns, anything like that, make sure that you have that info right in front of you so that you can knock it out. We're going to do it for every month. So today is a little bit of a heavy lifting day. There's going to be a lot to cover because we're looking at the review for all 12 months, but it's okay. As you do this, you'll realize it's not as much. So the other thing is however you take your payments, you'll want to have access to that as well, so that you can see how many clients you served, how much money each service brought in, what services you did, that kind of stuff. That's going to give us a realistic look at where you were for the year. So go ahead and grab your workbook, and then if you want to edit it on a computer, what you're going to go and do is you're going to go to the edit. So if we start at the home, you're going to hit edit right here in this top left corner, and it's going to let you edit, and then you'll just add text boxes, and if you want to add in images or anything like that. So I already have it open and I'm ready to edit, and so I can just add a text box in. So the first thing that we're going to do, it's always great to start with gratitude. You can just add in your text box, pick your font that you like, so that you can go in there and you can type whatever you want. And we're going to be doing this every day. You're going to be doing a little bit of gratitude. And we're just going to do it for a minute. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to start that timer. And for 1 minute, I want you to just write out what you're grateful for. Okay? So on you, go ahead and write out things that you're grateful for from this past year that you did over, and put those in. And these will be things that, they can be wins. They can be things that you loved, and it could be anything. It could be maybe your family grew, maybe you got married, maybe you bought a house, or it could be things in your business. So go ahead and get those onto paper, to let the world know that you and the universe are great, things are coming out. 30 more seconds and then we'll be moving on. All right. I hope that you guys had some really awesome things that you're grateful for. I know for me, I'm happy that I had a healthy baby boy that joined our family. He's doing great and he's growing, he's getting big, which is awesome. I'm also very grateful that both of my husband's business, my businesses, have been doing well, and that we've been getting clients and we've been growing, even though we did take some downtime for that baby. So those are some really big things that we're grateful for, is having those opportunities to do it. And I am grateful most of all for you guys right now. This workshop has been something that I've wanted to do, and I love helping businesses, and so doing that. So now we're going to jump in, and if you're still in edit in your PDF, you'll be able to see all of this, and you can actually go in and you'll be able to type in everything. So what the first thing I want you to do is you're going to pull up January, and you're going to pull up January in all of your platforms, and I want you to write down how much you made. So if you made $1,000 in January, go ahead and add that in. And then the calendar right here, so this will be the same for every month. So that calendar right here is, that did not add it correctly. So this calendar right here that we have is set up for you to kind of review that month, so that you know if you took time off, or if you were traveling, if you were learning, anything like that. Just give you an idea of what dates were and weren't working, and everything like that. So I always like to say, like, if you took time off, if you said, hey, I'm not working on these dates, like, that's awesome, and that let you have focus time, and you can do that, and you can add that in there. Wrong button. Okay, so then the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to look at our marketing that we did. Okay, so we have some different marketing platforms, and then there's also some blank spaces for you to write other marketing that you may have done. Maybe you hosted an event, maybe you partnered with somebody, and that would kind of be a partnership. Maybe you donated things, things like that. Maybe you had a paid marketing campaign where you did a TV commercial, or different things like that. So we'll start with social media. This seems to be the one that is, especially for small businesses, people are pretty heavy in this, because it is a lower cost platform to do, because most social media is free unless you're boosting or doing paid sponsor ad kind of things. So we have social media. Your social media can be your Pinterest, it can be your Instagram, your TikTok, your Vimeo, your YouTube, your Facebook, your Snapchat. All of those are considered social media platforms. So you can kind of go in there, and if you want, you can annotate, like, hey, I did these platforms or whatever. So if you did any Facebook, Instagram stuff, I'm going to show you how you can access that. So you're going to log into your Meta, and then you're going to go over, you're going to make sure that you're selected in your account, and then go down to content. Okay. And then once you're in content, you're going to come over here to the right side of that page, and you're going to select your dates. All right. Now we're looking at everything. We're looking at things by month. So you can actually go down here and you can select custom, and then you can come over and you can select the dates. So for January 1st through the 31st, you select it, and then you hit update, and it'll show you all of your posts for the Meta platforms. And you're going to do that on every social media platform that you did. So whatever platforms you were marketing on for your business, you'll go in there and you can do that. So, and it shows you, like, if you did it on Facebook, if you did it on Instagram, those things. You can also look in there. You can see reactions. You can see comments. You can see how many times it was shared. If it was a video, if there was ad revenue from it, if you had a link for people to click on. and then overall what your overall reach was, and the impressions. And then if it was a video, like what was the average watch time? So those are all good things for you to know and to look at. And you can always print this out so that you have this kind of thing and that you can see what you did and you can go back there, because this is going to let you know what's working and what's not working. Maybe you were posting in different Facebook groups and those groups were actually groups that were not reaching your target audience, or maybe those are kind of dead groups where people are just throwing things at the wall and then they don't go in there and they engage in anything. That's always a big thing. A lot of people will be like, oh, I shared it 40 something times. Well, that's great, but if you shared it 40 something times and only 3 of those times were in groups where people actually engage with content and not just throw up an advertisement, then your stuff isn't going to get seen. So like you can see like this one, 1,000 times, right? That was a lot for just a picture and a caption. 528. So those different things. Whereas like, let's see, where's one that I had that didn't do so well? Well, that's Instagram. Okay, so this one only had 138. Well, that one's on Instagram too. Instagram. Okay, my Instagram just doesn't perform that well. Oh, here we go. Okay. 104 people only saw this reel. So not the best reach for Facebook for me. So that one didn't work, and that would be one of those things of to figure out, well, why didn't it work? What was it that wasn't working with it? So you can go in there, you can pull all of that, and so you'll go back to your tracker and you'll put in there how many posts, how many things that you did on there. You can write any notes too. Like if you notice like, hey, reels are performing super well for me, or people love pictures of me, or people love maybe if you did a tip or a home care tip or something like that, or those kinds of things. Cost. How much did it cost you? Facebook, predominantly free. Now, if you paid for any ads, you would put those. And then revenue would be, how much did that activity bring you? And now, sometimes it can be hard to know because you don't know how people heard about you or if there was a direct correlation. If you don't think that there was a direct correlation, if somebody didn't say, I saw your Facebook post, when you ask your clients, right? If somebody didn't tell you, well, I saw this post and that's why I booked you, then let's assume 0 for now, because some of that money can actually be a culmination. Some of that revenue could be a culmination of all of your marketing activities. And so that's where we'll figure out what's working and what's not. Whereas like you might have had charitable events. If you donated to a charitable event, maybe you sponsored a table, maybe you donated an auction item, something like that, and that directly brought you a client, that's going to give you direct revenue. And so that's where we're going to be talking about later on what our return on investment is for each of our marketing activities and what we want to do if you hosted free events. Marketing campaigns. So like I'll show you marketing campaigns. I can go in here to my marketing platform. I can pull up email campaigns. I can search the date and it'll show me how many marketing campaigns I sent out overall. Lots and lots of emails went out, and then how many people it was sent to, how many people opened it, how many people clicked on this stuff in there, and then if people unsubscribed or if they bounced. So like if this was not a real email that I was given when somebody logged into it, which would be silly because if you didn't give me a real email, then you don't get the thing that you were trying to download. So that's always interesting, but you can pull that. So that's another thing is look at, what marketing content did you do? So did I do any marketing content for brands in January? Nope. So for me, that email would be 0. Printed marketing, if you have flyers, posters, things like that you put out anywhere, maybe you did mailers, that would go in there, and that's where you would, again, you just make that note of what it is, what the cost was, and then if it brought you any direct revenue here. Partnerships. I love partnerships. I love working with other businesses. I love doing partnerships where we both benefit. So a partnership might be that, like for a photographer, maybe you worked with a clothing shop, maybe you worked with a boutique, and you set up for their best clients, and they came in, they did a fashion show, and you got to photograph everyone in one of those outfits. Or if you are a salon, maybe you partnered with a winery and you hosted an event and everyone got to come in and they did some makeup and then they also got some wine, and now you guys are both bringing in your client base and helping each other grow. So that would be some examples of partnerships. And then of course any other marketing activities that you did that don't fall into these major categories, go ahead and put those down. How many did you do of each of those? Any notes that you have, the cost of what those partnerships or what those marketing activities were, and then again, any of the direct revenue from those. All right, and you're going to do that for every month with marketing. The other thing we're going to talk about is your clients. How many clients did you serve? And so this will be for me, I will go in and I don't want anyone, I don't think it's always great for, you don't have to share this stuff publicly or anything like that. So your money that you brought in, that's on you. That's for you to look at. So you can log into your point of sale platform. So whatever it is, if it's Square, Stripe, Clover, whatever, you can log in there and you can see how many clients you served in a certain time period, what services you provided, and then go ahead and you can look, or you can even, and if you're still in that spot where you're like, I do a lot of paper, I write paper receipts or anything like that, you can go ahead, look at your database and figure out how many clients did I serve, who were they, what services did they receive, did they receive a did I sell a home to them, or were they a buyer? Did they just come to me for some renovation quotes? Different things like that. Depending on what your industry is, you'll have options there. The revenue is how much did they pay you? Okay, so we're talking about gross. Here, we're not talking about your net. So overall, how much did you make from that? And then the cost. The cost is going to be what it costs you to do that. So for me as a photographer, my cost might be props, if I had to rent any equipment or a location fee, permits, things like that, as well as mileage. If I'm going to you, I'm going to have to drive. That's mileage on my vehicle, that's fuel, things like that. And then date of intake and date complete. Now, I know that you may not feel like these are really important depending on where you are in your business, especially if you're like a same day service where somebody just comes in, they get their item from you, and then they're done. But if you are a longer take business, right? Like how long did it take from the day that they called and said, hey, I'm interested, to the day that it was complete? Now, like if you go ahead and put that down there, because the thing is we're going to be looking at our systems as we get to our third day. That's the S, is systems. And we want to make sure that our systems are actually working and that our systems are completely closing out our clients, okay? So you're going to go through, you're going to do this for every month. So you have February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, and December. Okay, so that's a lot. And I know it's going to feel kind of heavy, but once you get in the groove and you kind of start going, and here's the thing, like you can go in here and you can look at your social media content and you can say, all right, social media, we are at social media. All right, I did January. Now we're going to go to the next month. And I'm just going to go February, show me February, boom, update, right? And I can get in there and I can pull all of the content for every month. So February, okay, I was a little bit more active, right? So you can go in there and you can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, right? You have that ability to get in there and see, and I can just go in to my workbook and I can say, okay, so now for February I did this many, for right, and you can fill all of it out. Makes it a little bit quicker to let you know where you stand. All right, so the next thing will be the Facebook group. So as you guys are in here, let's pull up that Facebook group. Go back to Facebook. There's my Facebook. Okay. So in that Facebook group, we want to go to the Business Reset group. Which I'm a part of because I manage it. There it is. All right, Business Reset. I guess I need to join it. Oh, I'm under my personal account. That's why. Ha ha ha. Silly Michelle. Silly. Well, that's embarrassing. You guys all to see that. All right, there we go. Business Reset group. I'm going to visit it. Okay, so there is in this Business Reset group, this is where you're going to drop your questions for the question and answer today, to go over everything. So there will be a post. If you haven't yet, go ahead and jump in there and introduce yourself. Make sure that you do download that workbook. Again, you can download that. That is in there as well. And we can get started on making today great. All right, guys. Thank you so much, and I can't wait to have our live question and answer today.